Hey, welcome to the Real Life Data Intro Tutorial. This is the first in a series of videos all about the basics of the Real Life Data platform. And this first one is going to explore what Real Life Data is, what are all the parts to it, and how do I start? So let's go up to the corner here of the Real Life Data website and you'll see these four names. The first one is Viewer. The Viewer is an app that someone can download on their mobile device, on an iPad, or on their laptop that allows you to see data from a real-life data project. Input is similar, however, instead of seeing data, you'll be inputting data using digital forms and data collection apps. Author is where you create all of these different views and all of these forms and data collection apps. So let's jump right into it. The first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to sign up. I'm going to sign in with Google. You can sign in using an email address and password or anything else, but I'm going to go ahead and click with Google. And either way, you'll end up at this page asking you to sign up. It'll ask you to put in your name and put in your picture. Mine's already there because it grabbed it from Google. So I'll just click accept. And the only version of the software that exists right now is our free version. So no need to worry, just click the sign up button. All right, and the first thing you'll see is the project list. So a project is the container that has everything in it for real life data. And you'll know what that means in a bit. Let's just get started. So I'll create this new project and call it my health tracking app. So I'm making a health tracking app right now. So I'll hit create, and the first thing I'll see is project summary. This tells you everything you need to know about your project. So the first thing you'll see here at the top is some identifying information. What's the picture on the project to make it easy to see? What's the name on the project so you know it's unique from all the other ones? But then you'll also see all these panels down here. Let me go through them one by one, starting with data. So data is all about what stuff is actually in your system right now. So what are the unique number of things that you're keeping track of, unique fields? How many data sets do you have? This is an advanced concept, so don't worry about this for right now. How many records are inside of your database? And then how many data points are inside of your database? Think of data points as just the amount of data, regardless of how big each record is. That'll all make sense in a future video where we go over the data sets and the input stuff. Speaking of input, let me go to the input panel. So input is all about these data collection apps and these input forms I mentioned earlier. So this tells you the number of those that you have created that people are able to use to put data into your project. And here at Real Life Data, we want to help you catch problems before they happen. So we even have a tracker for the number of errors that are inside of your input form. Likewise, we also have the number of calculations that happen after someone puts something into an input form and the number of errors that exist, again, to help you catch problems before they happen. We also have the number of graphs, the number of tables, dashboards, and reports that you've created as part of your project. And then the most interesting part is the number of users who are able to input data into your system, the number of users who are able to view data from your system, and the number of users who are able to do what we're doing right now, see everything about the system and change everything about it. Lastly, down at the bottom, you'll see input activity. This is a graph tracking how much data has been put into your project. You'll see this go up as we get further into these tutorial videos. And the same will be true of viewing activity, which will be coming soon in the future. So there's two more things to really understand about the projects. So let's start with, how do you change some of the project properties that we see on this page? Well, I'll click on the project properties on the side here, and I've decided I want this to be a mental health tracking app. So I'll do that and click change, and I'll add a little description. So that way when people see it, they know what it is. App for tracking my mental health in any given month. There we go. Fairly self-explanatory. And maybe I want to change the project image. So that way when I see it on the list, it's a little easier for me to pick out. So I'll click edit here, select a file, and I'll do this little blurred office image that I have. Great. Now if I go back to the project summary by clicking over on the side here, I'll see that those have changed. And if I go to the project list, I'll also notice that they changed. So that way, in case I have a lot of projects, very easy to know which one I want to get to. All right, finally, the last part of the project that you might want to deal with when you're first starting out is the users. Who's able to do stuff on your project? Well, let's click on user access on the side here. So you'll notice we had ones for author, input, and view on that last page. Well, that's because I am here and I'm the owner of this project, and I am allowed to author. I'm allowed to change the stuff we're changing right now. I'm also allowed to view, has access to see graphs, tables, dashboards, and reports. I'm also allowed to input, may input data using any form. Now, if I go ahead and add another user, which I'll do right now, I'll add support@reallifedata.net. Click done. You'll notice I get the chance to give them permissions that I have myself. So I'll go ahead and give them view and input permissions. You'll notice I can delete them right here if I'd want. And if I go back to the project summary, you'll note that input users has gone up by 1, view users has gone up by 1, authors has stayed the same. So in this video, we covered what is a project. Well, it contains everything you could want from your real-life data stuff, including data, input, viewing, user access, and security. It also includes project properties that you can change yourself, and how do you give people different permissions on your platform. The next video is going to go over what you see in this panel right here, all of the input stuff.